What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new video here. So today we had a super interesting debate, and it was extremely heated between Cenk Uygur and right-wing podcaster Andrew Wilson, and it was absolutely insane. And guys, if you don't know, Cenk Uygur has kind of done a weird little turn. Some would say to the right. It's a little unclear since the election. He's been criticized by many people, especially on the left, for going to a lot of these right-wing events, Turning Point USA with Charlie Kirk, for example. And for the most part, he's been accepted by many people in the right wing for agreeing with a lot of their policy prescriptions. But today on Piers Morgan, for the first time in a long time, we had a throwback Cenk. Cenk went absolutely insane, ripped this guy to shreds, Andrew Wilson, after Andrew Wilson called him out. Andrew Wilson called out Cenk, basically called him a sellout for changing his positions according to Andrew Wilson. I mean, it was pretty wild. So, I mean, before we go any further, let me just show you the clip and then we'll talk about it. Here it is, guys. An insane clip. Here we go.
Right? He was going down to the bunker during the protest to inspect it. Ha, 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 ha. Right? You didn't care at all. Yeah. You weren't denouncing political violence. You weren't denouncing these people getting beat up. You didn't care when the violence is on your side like a typical Democrat. You don't care at all, Cenk. You don't care. And you've never cared. The only reason you care now is because you want to kiss.
And I condemn it every time people do violence.
Snake.
Literally
okay,
every
I'll say
time.
Snake. But the thing is, Snake, is that you're just trying to kiss the right wing's ass now to get back in with them because the left has categorically rejected you, and that's what's actually happening.
Cenk, is that what's happening?
All right, you amuse me. Yeah, this guy amuses me. So, like, you think calling me Snake is going to somehow win you the debate? Good luck with that childish.
I already won the debate.
Way of going. Oh, you did because you said it. Okay, that by the way, another great debating tactic. Just saying you won. And second of all, we have 27 million. How many times do I have to say this? 27 million subscribers, 30 billion lifetime views. You're a pimple on my ass. I literally don't even know who you are. So you come in here talking about audience, and oh, you're a snake. Okay, you're a turtle. You're a scorpion.
Audience.
Whatever. Do I win now?
I didn't say anything about audience. What are you talking about? Are you a lunatic?
You did. You just said, oh yeah, the left wing's audience has got a problem with them.
I know the left wing better than you guys.
Oh yeah,
you're trying to cozy up with right
wingers.
What were you doing at TPUSA, Cenk? Try to cozy in with right-wingers like Charlie Kirk, kissing their ass. You're literally kissing up to them because you want in good, because the left is rejecting center-left policies now. That's what's happening.
Hey, brother,
they either want to go far left or far right.
Okay, listen, brother. As you see me bitch slapping you right here on national airwaves.
The only thing you can bitch slaps.
What part of that seems like cozying up? What's the part of that seems like cozying up to the right? I think you're an idiot. I think you love that coup on January 6th. I think you hate our democracy. I think you hate our Constitution. So what part of that is cozying up to the right wing? Bitch?
I hate snakes like you who try to get in as good as you can with a weak right like Charlie Kirk when you have weaponized political violence yourself.
Oh, Charlie Kirk is weak right and you're strong right.
At the same time, you say, wait a second. Oh, I can't believe the J6ers coup dates. You didn't give a damn. You've never given a damn. We have your words on record. You flip-flop. You're the biggest flip-flopper on the left. You're known for it. People make fun of you for it because you move positions. You and Anna Kasparian both move positions like a tube of toothpaste.
Oh, Trump. I love Trump. Oh, I love Trump so much.
And all you care about is Trump's arrangement syndrome.
Okay. Now that, guys, is the first time I've seen Cenk absolutely destroy, or I mean, depends how you look at it, absolutely explode on a right winger, probably since before the election. He's been very, trying to be friendly with a lot of these guys, but I mean, let's be honest, that guy Andrew Wilson called him out. I mean, he basically called him a sellout. And what's interesting is a lot of the criticism that Wilson threw at Cenk has actually been thrown at by left-wing people saying you're selling out to the right because basically they're not accepting you, so you're trying to make your way or hedge your bets with the right wing, and he got called out for it. Now, if that's true or not, I don't think it is. I think Cenk's strategy is to work on certain policy prescriptions that he thinks that if you agree with the right wing on, why not just work together on it? I don't think that's necessarily a correct strategy for a number of reasons, but that's a different discussion for a different time. But I mean, that was insane. Cenk goes ad hominem, basically saying, you're a pimple on my ass. I have way more subscribers than you. I have way more views than you, which is true. But to be fair, it is a little misleading because the Young Turks is actually one of the original YouTube channels. It's been around for a very long time. So, of course, if you've been around longer, you're going to have more views. You're going to have a bigger platform. But there's no question the Young Turks has been super successful. And even though they've slowed down viewership in recent months, but there's no question the Young Turks did a very successful time period. And then Cenk says he hates democracy. He supports January 6th, and he was supporting January 6th, basically saying all these people should be pardoned, all of them are nonviolent, which is of course not true. If you look at a number of the videos from January 6th, you all know that's not true. And again, like I said, I haven't seen Cenk like this in a long time. And you can just tell, guys, Piers Morgan is loving every second of this. He's laughing, basically. You can see the smirk on his face because he knows it's clips. He knows it's clips and people are going to be talking about it. And that's exactly what he got out of it. And it's the first, again, like I said, guys, the first time we've seen Cenk like this in a pretty long time where he just gets super angry and it's throwback Cenk, which is, let's be honest, guys, the more entertaining Cenk. And again, so furthermore, in the interview, we see a number of questions Piers asking about Trump. And again, we see Cenk actually giving Trump credit, which is super interesting because, again, more to the new Cenk, post-election Cenk, he gives him credit for a number of his executive orders so far, condemns his pardoning of January 6 prisoners, which we just talked about. Andrew Wilson talks about the other's unfair application of the law in a number of these cases. And again, we see whether or not some of the nonviolent people should have been pardoned from prison. That's a discussion we can have. But the violent ones who attacked and assaulted police officers who were released, it's a disgrace. And the reason is, guys, let's be honest, a lot of these people on the right wing are total hypocrites. If it was let's just say a BLM protester who beat the crap out of a police officer, I would give you $1 million. There would be uproar. Fox News would have a 24/7 news cycle about how these people were pardoned by Joe Biden if it was the other way around. You know it, and I know it. Let's not kid around here. I mean, it's a disgrace that he pardoned everyone. And you know what? I don't think it's a surprise, though. We all knew this was going to come. Even if J.D. Vance said, oh, we don't expect a pardon for these people, for the violent ones. I kind of suspected it was coming either way. But it's just interesting to note the hypocrisy on the side. And Andrew Wilson brings up Chaz, for example, and how Andrew Wilson calls him how he made fun of Trump and called him bunker boy during the George Floyd protest outside the White House. Andrew Wilson said it was an insurrection, the BLM protest, which is ridiculous. That was not true at all. The protest on May 30th outside the White House was not an insurrection at all. The protest was put down by the police officers, which is very controversial because this is the alleged moment where Trump reportedly, according to Mark Esper, Trump's former Secretary of Defense, he had requested that they shoot protesters in the legs, which is pretty crazy. This is a very infamous story. You guys can do more research on this. By the way, make sure to like and subscribe. It's super good for the algorithm. And Amazon links of products I use are in the description. So if you're liking the content, make sure to like and subscribe. It's free, obviously. Just please use that. And Amazon products that I really like and enjoy, if you purchase using the link, just hit the link, and I get a commission. So that helps out immensely. And listen, Wilson brings up Chaz, though, also, which is the autonomous zone. I'm not sure if you remember this. This was a crazy time. During the BLM protests, we had basically a bunch of, I guess, you could call them insurrectionists, I think. It's fair to say. Basically took a part of Portland, I believe it was, and they declared it their own country. But again, it was a joke. It lasted a few weeks. It wasn't a serious thing. And to compare that to a raid on the U.S. Capitol building, basically trying to overthrow and overturn the fair election results, it's a ridiculous comparison. It's a ridiculous comparison. And I don't think Cenk at the time was supporting Chaz. I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. I don't think that's true at all. I definitely don't think Cenk was defending that in any standpoint. There's no way. And then they get into a debate about birthright citizenship, where Andrew Wilson brings up how it's unconstitutional birthright citizenship. It's completely wrong, which is of course ridiculous. The founding fathers wrote in the Constitution birthright citizenship. It's a super important thing in the Constitution because Trump just passed an executive order stating that he's going to overturn birthright citizenship. But you can't do that, guys. It's unconstitutional. It's already been struck down by the court. It might go to the Supreme Court, but now we're going to find out whether or not the Supreme Court has any credibility left because it is clearly unconstitutional to end birthright citizenship. It's a constitutional amendment, guys. A very famous one you learn in kindergarten. So that would be ridiculous. That, again, just completely ridiculous executive order that Trump passed there. Now, there's one more thing which I thought was insane about this interview where the bishop who called out Trump the other day, which I'm sure many of you have heard now, basically the bishop scolded J.D. Vance and Trump, asking for mercy on immigrants. Here's the insane reaction between Cenk and Andrew Wilson. I mean, let's just show the clip and we'll talk about it. This is just insane. Here it is, guys.
No, that's an impossibility. That is not Christian at all. You're not allowed to have female bishops. That is satanic. That's literally satanic to have a female bishop come up and say anything. You can laugh, but it is. That's
okay.
Satan speaking. And the reason you're laughing is because it's true.
Well, Cenk, I'll get you to respond. But first of all, let's play the clip of that bishop because my objection was actually for different reasons. Let's take a look at it.
I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here.
So, Cenk, I mean, notwithstanding Andrew's position on the fact there shouldn't be a female bishop, but the fact that she was there on such a big historic moment, delivering a kind of scolding woke lecture with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and their wives sitting there, I just thought it was completely inappropriate. I didn't care who the president was or what the scolding was, but to turn the pulpit into a scolding thing about all America's gay children are going to be running for their lives, I just thought it was completely wrong.
Yeah, Piers, I totally disagree. I loved it, and the reason I loved it is because it's truth to power. And you can say, hey, it's her truth. It's the truth of about half of Americans. It's not necessarily the truth, but at least she's trying to challenge the powerful, and I love that. Look, the reason why a lot of people agree with me is because I challenge the powerful on both sides, on the Democratic side and the Republican side. And that makes the partisans get super mad at me. No, Biden's right about everything. No, Trump's right about everything. No, I love that she spoke for half the country, and she said it right to his face. I wish reporters would do that. And I think a lot of the reporters got the message to be softer on Trump. No, be harder on the Democrats and the Republicans and the establishment. Be harder on everyone. So do exactly as she did, even though apparently she's Satan. Brother, look, how can I talk to you, man, when you say such ludicrous things? Do you know that like 95% of Americans, when you say that she's satanic because she's a woman bishop, think that you're nuts? Do you at least understand and acknowledge that?
First of all,
I mean, I don't know what you guys think, guys. I think that it's pretty clear. I have no problems with what the Bush bishop said. You might disagree with it, but, and listen, just to be clear, the inauguration people and the Trump people should have done a better job vetting this bishop in the sense, yeah, she's a liberal bishop. No kidding, guys. Like, obviously that should have been a better job done by the Trump people. But the fact that she got up there, yeah, she is speaking for a lot of the country, and you had the president and the vice president standing right in front of you. Who cares? Like, good for her. I mean, her entire message was of empathy and to show mercy on a lot of people, which is, I don't see the problem with that. You might disagree with, I mean, I'm not sure how you disagree with that. I didn't think it was a problem. You could say she shouldn't have inserted herself there, but I have no problem speaking up to the powerful. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think Andrew Wilson's bringing up how it's satanic. I mean, it's just ridiculous, guys. Give me a break. And it does turn off most Americans. It's a ridiculous thing to say. And I totally agree with Cenk that she was speaking up to the powerful, and that's what you should do in a position like that as a bishop. And she's speaking for a lot of people. She just is. So I have no problem with what she said at all. And then we get into the Nazi salute. There was a big debate over the Elon Musk Nazi salute. I give it my commentary on that. You can check some previous videos. I think it was probably more likely than not that it was just awkward, but the way he's handled this since then has been terrible. But it could have been a Nazi salute, like on purpose. I really have no idea. But Cenk seems to think Elon Musk was trolling, which I don't think is that crazy either. I think it's more likely than just what they're saying. Oh, there's no, like, you know, all these right wingers like Piers. Oh, there's no way he would ever do such a thing. He would never. Like, I don't buy that at all. I think it's totally in the realm of possibility he would do it to troll, or just like, you know, just do it in general. I don't know. How the hell do these people know? I don't put anything past these rich elites like Elon Musk. Okay. I put nothing past him. This guy's a kleptocrat trillionaire almost. Okay. I put nothing past him. Nothing at all. So these guys like Piers Morgan going to be his white knight, Ben Shapiro, bringing up how he went to Auschwitz. First of all, the only reason he was at these places is because he was on an apology tour for an alleged anti-Semitic post at the time. That's the only reason why he went to these places, which these guys never know for the reason. I think it's possible it was a Nazi salute. I really do. Okay. Cenk seems to think it was trolling, and Piers and the other dude on the panel call him nuts. And let's just show the clip. Here it is, guys.
It's interpreted as a Nazi salute by people who keep wanting to call everyone on the right a Nazi.
No. So Elon Musk is trolling. So this is a classic right-wing maneuver. It's to get attention. And he knows that if he does a Nazi salute, but he says, oh, but I touched my heart. and I can't believe they're calling me a Nazi. I'm the victim. The left wing is coming after me just because I did the most obvious Nazi salute of all time. Now, the left is angry at me because I'm not calling him a Nazi. I think he's trolling. I think he's doing it for attention. And he does this plausible deniability. It's the oldest trick in the book coming from the right wing. In fact, when you get upset at the right wing, they usually go, he's just trolling, right? So that's what happened there. That wasn't subtle. And again, I have credibility here because when they accused so many people of doing this, I said no. When Laura Ingraham was at the RNC and she raised her arm, and they're like, that's a Nazi salute. I'm like, that's not a Nazi salute. She just raised her arm. Everybody raises their arm. He did that so crisp, so sharp, exactly like the way that they did in the Third Reich. That's not an accident. He's a smart guy. He's doing it to get us to do this segment and for the inauguration to all be about Elon Musk. He's swallowing up all the attention.
I mean, again, you see these guys, they go to defense for Elon Musk. It's just amazing. It's so obvious Piers is only deriding this guy because he wants an interview with him. I mean, show some spine, bro. Show some spine. You don't got to do a complete white knight as if you are 100% sure he wasn't doing this. How the hell do you know, Piers? You have no idea what's in his head. The only thing I know is that he literally did something that looked identical to a Roman Nazi salute, okay? That's what it looked. You can say you don't think it was on purpose. It looked like a salute, so you can't blame people for feeling a certain way about it, okay? You ask many Europeans, they'll tell you exactly what they saw. So all these people going to defend, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's not the left wing bringing up Nazi again. It's because Elon Musk literally did a salute. That's what he did, okay? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Then you have these guys like Andrew Wilson. They're claiming many Democrats did this. Yeah, because they're talking about a lot of these people on Twitter, like libs at TikTok, posting these dishonest images of these politicians, AOC, Nancy Pelosi, basically raising their hand in the air. Notice something about this, guys, and you'll never see a video of it. You'll never see a video of them actually doing the clip in context of them raising their hand because it's not the same thing that Elon Musk did at all. Elon Musk literally pounded his chest and raised his hand in the air. That's all you got to know, guys. It's ridiculous. Okay, listen, overall, I think this is throwback Cenk. We see Cenk getting in the woods here. And I think the reason why is because he was called out by Andrew Wilson. That's the entire reason why. I'm not sure he would have come out like that if he was not attacked by the other guy on the panel. And there's valid criticism there from Wilson. I mean, a lot of people would agree with that on the left. I don't think it's true. Again, I said before, I think it's like a strategy thing with Cenk. I don't think it's necessarily correct, though. As for Anna Kasparian, I think she's different. I mean, she's definitely taken a more right-wing turn than Cenk has. I think there's no question about that. And frankly, Cenk, I mean, listen, I don't think he's changed any policies. That's the thing. He hasn't rhetorically. I think he has a little bit. Not this episode though. There's no question. But he has recently changed his rhetoric a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see how that adjusts over the Trump era. So very interesting. I'm very curious what you guys think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, make sure to like and subscribe. Super good for the algorithm. We got major things coming up over the next few weeks too. So if you're liking the content, let me know what you think. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great night, and probably won't post again for the weekend. So we'll see you guys on Monday probably. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you later.